Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A day after spending Diwali with our forces in Naushera, Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarked on a spiritual journey to Kedarnath. He offered prayers at the historic shrine, inaugurated a statue of Adi Shankaracharya at the place where the great saint took Samadhi, and also inaugurated numerous redevelopment projects worth over Rs 400 crore. The Prime Minister recalled his deep connect with the Dev Bhumi while underlining the fact that the glory of Indic civilization is being restored by his government. Listen in to what the Prime Minister had to say.
बाबा केदारनाथ की शरण में आकर जब भी आता हूं, यहां के कण कण से जुड़ जाता हूं। यहां की हवाएं, ये हिमालय की चोटियां, ये बाबा केदार का सानिध्य न जाने कैसी अनुभूति की तरफ खींच के ले चला जाता है, जिसके लिए मेरे पास शब्द है ही नहीं। अब मंदाकिनी के किनारे बाढ़ से सुरक्षा के लिए जिस दीवार का निर्माण किया गया है, इससे श्रद्धालुओं की यात्रा अब और सुरक्षित होगी। मैं मुख्यमंत्री तो गुजरात का था, लेकिन मैं अपने आप को रोक नहीं पाया था। मैं यहां दौड़ा चला आया था। मैंने अपनी आंखों से उस तबाही को देखा था, उस दर्द को देखा था। जो लोग यहां आते थे वो सोचते थे कि क्या अब ये हमारा केदार धाम या हमारा केदारपुरी फिर से उठ खड़ा होगा क्या? लेकिन मेरे भीतर की आवाज कह रही थी, ये पहले से अधिक आन बान शान के साथ खड़ा होगा। इस आदि भूमि पर शाश्वत के साथ आधुनिकता का ये मेल, विकास के ये काम भगवान शंकर की सहज कृपा का ही परिणाम है। ये ईश्वर नहीं क्रेडिट ले सकता, इंसान क्रेडिट नहीं ले सकता। ईश्वर कृपा ही इसकी हकदार है। हमारी संस्कृति के, हमारी इस विरासत को, आस्था के केंद्रों को इसी गौरव भाव से देखा जा रहा है जैसा देखा जाना चाहिए था। आज अयोध्या में भगवान श्री राम का भव्य मंदिर पूरे गौरव के साथ बन रहा है। अयोध्या को उसका गौरव सदियों के बाद वापस मिल रहा है।
But the Prime Minister's Kedarnath visit has been questioned by the opposition. For them, it was just a poll gimmick, as the state of Uttarakhand will witness elections over the next 2 or 3 months. Listen in.
ये चुनावी प्रधानमंत्री, सरकार चलाना इनको आता नहीं है। जहां चुनाव आता है, विदेश में भी चले जाते हैं चुनाव का प्रचार करने, ऐसे प्रधानमंत्री।
देखिए, चुनाव के समय पर हमने ये देखा है, भाजपा के प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी हों या मुख्यमंत्री लोग हों, ये सब पूजा अर्चना करने लग जाते हैं। ये जनता के हित के काम नहीं करते, चाहते हैं किसी भी प्रकार से पूजा अर्चना करके इनको वोट मिले।
साथ साथ में मोदी जी को ये भी हम अपील करते हैं कि आप मंदिर के साथ साथ मस्जिद भी दर्शन किया कीजिए। प्रोपोज बाबरी मस्जिद भी एक बार दर्शन कर लीजिए। जैसे ही इलेक्शन आ जाता है, मोदी जी भगवान और जवान इन दोनों का बड़ा ख्याल आता है।
प्राइम मिनिस्टर is heading a secular state. If he is visiting temple to temple, then at the same time he should visit Buddh Vihar to Buddh Vihar, churches to churches, mass to mass, and Gurdwara to Gurdwara, which he is not doing it. See, it's a political tourism.
The poll opportunism barb fired by the opposition is far from reality. The attempt to link Prime Minister's Kedarnath visit to polls may be misconstrued. The Prime Minister has already made it clear that in New India, spirituality is no more associated with age-old stereotypes. The Prime Minister has always stressed on his Sabka Saath vision by visiting places of religious importance when there were no polls at all in the horizon. Take a look at this fact check. Just recently, Prime Minister Modi visited the Vatican to meet the Pope. Last year, he made an unscheduled visit to the Gurdwara Rakabganj Sahib in Delhi. There were no polls at that time. In 2017, he visited Siddhi Saeed Ki Jali Mosque in Ahmedabad along with the then Japan Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, just a few weeks after the assembly elections. So, you can't accuse him of seeking poll benefit there too. The Prime Minister also visited Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque in Abu Dhabi after winning the 2014 polls. So, it's clear that the charge of poll tourism leveled by the opposition doesn't quite hold. And that's why the legitimate question on the news hour that we're asking tonight, why link spirituality to Satta? That's the question, and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me tonight on the big debate, Gaurav Bhatia, national spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, Ratan Sharda, author, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, leader of the Congress Party, Dr. T.A. Rahmani, president of the Muslim Political Council of India. But my first question goes to Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, I want to ask you this question. What is so political about the Prime Minister's visit to Kedarnath? After all, he went to Kedarnath after the last poll had been put in the EVMs in the 2019 elections, and he spent time at the cave in Kedarnath, in the Kedar Ghati, and sat there when that could not have influenced his poll fortunes because votes had already been cast by the people of this country. So why is it that this time around this charge is being leveled at Prime Minister Modi?
Good evening, Navika ji, to you, my fellow co-panelists, and every one of your viewers. A very happy Diwali and happy Govardhan Puja. And let's pray that collectively and individually work towards strengthening and bringing prosperity to the nation as a whole. As far as Prime Minister's visit is concerned, I concur with you that it's not political. One pilgrimage or another, one place or another. What is key is that we have a Prime Minister who has a very strong PMO, which is often accused or praised for running the country overall, irrespective of the ministry. So when we look at the country as a whole and look at Prime Minister priorities, for example, none of us here would know who is the economic advisor of the country. Gaurav Bhatia would not know, you would not know, you studied economics, I don't know.
I know.
Please educate the viewers when you get the opportunity.
Yeah, the Economic Advisory Council headed by Vivek Debroy. What's the big deal? What's the point?
That is the situation here, that we don't know who's in charge of ensuring that youth in this country will get jobs. We don't know who's in charge of ensuring that the kind of inflation the poor face, the same people who said that कैसे 9 लाख दिए जल रहे थे, did not utter a word जब लोग उन्हीं दियों से तेल निकाल रहे थे ताकि उनका घर खर्च चल सके. This government has betrayed the middle class and the poor entirely, the farmers entirely, the youth entirely. The Prime Minister focuses on the 3% of the country that is doing extremely well as per the CMI, but forgets the 97% who have lost money. He focuses on Bharatiya Janata Party that doubles its income every 2 years, but forgets everyone who speaks for democratic temper in the country. He speaks about national security.
So Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, will you tell Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary of the Congress Party that you don't stand with him because the Prime Minister has cut excise duty on diesel and petrol, but none of the states ruled by the Congress Party have made a move in cutting the value-added tax.
Well,
So
when
do
there is no economic brain trust in this country,
you
the
now
political
say
engine of
that the
BJP
Congress
running
is
the country.
equally against the poor people in this country?
Please allow me to complete. When there is no economic brain trust in the country, neither the Prime Minister Economic Council nor Economic Advisor, the political headline management is running the economic engine of the country. And Prime Minister believes that his photo ops, his videos will run the country. If a government has increased excise duty 10 times, 600% in last 7 years, and this is the government who statistically said that ab ki baar Modi Sarkar badh hui petrol diesel ki maar. Even after that, if they do it, then it is very clear that the government is only deriving statistic pleasure in a 5 or 10 rupees increase when they could have done more, and it is inexplicable. At one point, the government says that it is the market forces. At another point, it is the Prime Minister's view or discretion to reduce petrol prices. I think not one of your viewers will believe that this government can be trusted.
So you are saying that it's only what Modi does that is of interest. What other opposition parties do is of no interest to the Samajwadi Party. Well, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, respond to Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari.
Navika, today when the Prime Minister
visited Uttarakhand, the main reason was to ensure that the rich cultural heritage of India is revived fully. Every Indian felt proud of it. And Adi Shankaracharya ji, who is revered by millions of Indians, united the southern India with North India, east with west, and this is the spirit of unification with which Narendra Modi ji went there. Now, to say that this is because of the elections that are coming only shows the sick mindset of the Samajwadi Party and the opposition parties, and I will tell you why. Election does something to these parties which are completely communal in nature, and they indulge in appeasement politics. Just a few days back, you remember how Jinnah was compared to Sardar Patel ji. The reason was simple, because they were pandering to a particular vote bank, and they thought that the patriotic Muslims of our country will vote for the Samajwadi Party because Mr. Akhilesh Yadav is remembering Jinnah with reverence. My second point, Narendra Modi ji is a leader that has ensured the impossible that was termed by the opposition is turned into possible. The construction of the Ram Temple. यही लोग आते थे नाविका जी, कहते थे मंदिर वहीं बनाओगे, तारीख नहीं बताओगे. आज पूरा भारत कह रहा है मंदिर वहीं बनाएंगे, तारीख भी बताएंगे, तुमको भी बुलाएंगे, आना जरूर, क्योंकि सरकार तो तुम्हारी कभी नहीं आएगी. अब दूसरी बात, just 2 days back, the Deepotsav that was celebrated with great fervor in Ayodhya, a world record was set. The prakash of the Deepaks, I hope, will take them out of the darkness and the hatred they have for Narendra Modi ji. और तभी मैं दोबारा कहूंगा, कहीं दीप जले, कहीं दिल जले. किसके दिल जले हम सब जानते हैं. धुआं ही धुआं है सपा के हेडक्वार्टर में, कांग्रेस के हेडक्वार्टर में. Third, Narendra Modi ji does not work for only winning votes. He works only and only for winning hearts of the Indians. Artifacts that have a very strong bearing on the cultural heritage of our country. Now 248 of them are being brought back to India. Whose effort? Tirelessly working for it. It was Shri Narendra Modi ji. The opposition, UPA, could not even do enough to get them back. And there are many such examples that I can give, that it is not about elections. When you are completely working for the benefit of the people, you do not think about the elections. And one fact, and I will end my statement. 18th of May 2019, Narendra Modi ji was in Uttarakhand. 7th of November 2018, he was in Uttarakhand. 20th of October 2017, he was in Uttarakhand. 3rd of May 2017, he was in Uttarakhand. What was he doing there? No elections were going to take place in 17 and 18. It clearly reflects that it is about taking India forward, taking every state forward, and this is what these opposition parties cannot accept with grace.
Well, let me ask Kamruzaman Chaudhary. I want to ask you, which part of the Prime Minister's visit to Kedarnath and the importance to Adi Shankaracharya does Mr. Harish Rawat find as marketing of the BJP? Which part of the Prime Minister's statement or his visit to Kedarnath seems that Mr. Modi is only the Prime Minister of Hindus? Because that's also something that's been said by political parties in the opposition. I want to ask you, Kamru Zaman Chaudhary, when the Prime Minister goes to Kushinagar to inaugurate an airport which will give a great boost to tourism on the Bodh circuit, on the Buddhist circuit, why were no apprehensions voiced then? Why were no apprehensions voiced when he went for the Prakash Parab earlier this year during Guru Tegh Bahadur? Why is it a problem when he goes to Uttarakhand or has anything to do with the Hindu Dharma? Why?
No, nothing. It's absolutely rubbish when people say that we have got problem to the Prime Minister visiting a part of the country. The point is that Narendra Modi ji, he does what he knows to do, what he does bad. He does what he is supposed to doing, and the propaganda machinery that is there, it's always behind him to highlight what he is doing at any point in time. You come to the Palamu attack. When the Palamu, our 40 of our brave soldiers were killed in Kashmir, where was our Prime Minister Modi? He was enjoying in the Jim Corbett National Park. When the Bengal elections happened, what was he doing? He was keeping long beard, resembling Rabindranath Tagore. And he was visiting this temple and that temple out here in Bengal. When he went to Gujarat, he was apportioning Sardar Patel. When he went to Amarnath, then he was meditating as if he was one avatar of the Kali Yuga. So the point is that the Hindus must understand this majority appeasement, the pseudo-nationalist. I did not disturb anybody. Please let me finish. The Hindutva narrative, I don't have any problem with the Prime Minister of India going to any part of the country. But he is, as long as he is the head of a secular state, he should not indulge in such type of cheap gimmicks of visiting a temple and trying to appease the majority. Okay, I am a messiah of the Hindus.
Okay.
No, you are not.
Only minorities should be appeased. Majorities should not be appeased. The large point of what you have said is minorities can be appeased for 75 years, but majority should never be appeased. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, Ratan Sharda, both smiling. I'm coming to each one of you. Dr. Anand Ranganathan first.
Good evening, Navika. If Modi visits a church or a mosque or a gurdwara, he is pandering to the minorities. If he visits a temple, he is pandering to the majority. Heads I win, tails you lose. Kare to kare kya? Jaye to jaye kahan? Wah, Modi ji, wah. Look, it is beyond any doubt that, like it or lump it, we are an intensely religious nation. A nation where 155 million of our infants, Navika, aged 1 to 3, are categorized as Hindu, Muslim, Sikh and Christian. As if these infants told the census lady or census man what their religion is. It is a fact that everything we do somehow involves a prayer or an offering or a visit to the gods. That is an easy route to pleasing the voters, is therefore a given for our politicians. It's as simple as that. What do you think Mr. Secular Arvind Kejriwal has been doing this past week? Leave alone the fact that he doesn't know the definition of secularism.
So that's why we call Arvind Kejriwal a second hand of the BJP.
He is not only spending taxpayers' money in arranging for pujas and their live telecasts with blanket ads, he is now offering the voters of Goa free pilgrimage to holy places. Hindus ke liye Ayodhya, Muslims ke liye Ajmer, Christians ke liye Velankani. And we the taxpayers are selling out for the shameless vote bank politics. And he isn't alone in this. Oh, absolutely not. All politicians of all political parties do it. BJP's Shivraj Singh Chauhan Mamaji has been doing this for 10 years. The only people who are shortchanged, Navika, in all this are folks like me, poor atheists. And anyhow, the last people to be speaking of this are the temple-run brother-sister duo of the Congress. In their hurry to placate the Hindus, they don't even realize that theirs is a party that is entrenched in Hindu phobia. You don't believe me? Recall how Mahila Congress leader Balal made a Gau Mutra jibe, same as the Pulwama bomber. Recently, a Goa Congress leader Jalmi termed Hindu god Parshuram a terrorist and a rapist. Congress mouthpiece National Herald routinely publishes Hindu-phobic articles, including one where it said Hindu epics were replete with misogyny and Me Too instances. Remember, the Congress celebrates Tipu Jayanti despite knowing he demolished hundreds of temples and converted and butchered lakhs of Hindus. And who can forget the phrase saffron terror was coined by Congress and that it wanted to pass the communal violence bill where only the majority, i.e. Hindus, would be held guilty in a communal riot. How many instances are there where the Congress has abused Islam? In fact, it demanded hanging of Amlesh Tiwari for making the comment considered Islamophobic.
But the question I'm asking you, Anand Ranganathan, the question I'm asking you, and let me take that to Ratan Sharda. You haven't answered that question. When the Congress party says we are a Muslim party, Muslims should vote in one direction, or when they approach the Imam to give some sort of a direction to all Muslims to vote in one direction, that to them is not something that is anti-secular as they claim the BJP is. But if the Prime Minister goes to Uttarakhand, then he is doing marketing of his party and the only one card that he has, which is the Hindutva card. Respond to that, Mr. Ratan Sharda.
Navika, I would not like to waste my time. First of all, what about you? I will begin with saying what exactly has happened today. Why this date is very significant? Because Adi Shankaracharya is one of the most foremost thinkers of this Bharat that has ever been produced. He is the man who has impacted the civilization of Bharat as no other sage has. The greatest scholar, who by the age of 32 had made 4 dhams, 4 knowledge centers, mathams across Bharat, underlining the unifying nature of this cultural entity called Bharat, geo-cultural entity of Bharat. That was 1800 years back. And the man who created a scientific base for Hindu religion, when Hindu religion was, the entire dharmic system was decaying, he reformed the system, created Renaissance, and same Swami Adi Shankaracharya could not be brought into Kerala. The airport at Kochi was, people asked to be named after Adi Shankar since 1990s. That was not allowed. So the people who don't understand the significance of Adi Shankar will make or keep on behaving like sour-faced relatives. And does people know that father of Malayalam language, Ezhuthachan, his idol is lying unopened for years together, because in Mallapuram you cannot have an idol because it's a Muslim district. In such a situation, you can go to Kolkata, you can prostrate yourself in front of Evangelist Teresa. भैया आप बोल रहे थे, मैं नहीं बोला, आप आपके पीछे बोल रहे हैं. शांति रखिए. आपने बोला मैं किसी के पीछे नहीं बोलता. आप क्या बोल रहे हैं?
Why are you bringing in Adi Shankaracharya and trying?
अरे आदि शंकराचार्य का तो मूर्ति अनवील करने गए ना भाई. Why did he go there? He went to unveil the great Murti of the great Adi Shankara, whom you could not respect in Kerala, whom you could not respect anywhere in India, because he's a Hindu saint.
What happened to the Devasthanam board?
Navika asked him to
what happened to the Devasthanam board? Why did the PM not visit the actual
Navika, let's have a reasonable debate.
Kamruzaman Chaudhary, you can make your points. Allow Mr. Ratan Sharda to finish. I'll come back to you. Yes, Mr.
He
Sharda.
has made most abusive remarks against Modi ji, and I talked about Evangelist Teresa, whom you can lay down prostrate and say are a secular. You can give salaries to muezzins, to clerics, to brothers and fathers. Still you can be secular. But if you get a reconstruction done for Kedarnath, oh my God, you are communal. If you visit a temple, you are communal. But that brother and sister Jodi, Nehru family, can go and get their photographed across the nation, making a tamasha of Nehru over the court, or Indira Gandhi who went to Vaishno Devi, or Rajiv Gandhi who went to some kind of iftar party. That is all secular. But Modi ji talking of intellectualism, talking of spiritualism, oh my God, that is height of communalism. This problem or distortion of word called communalism is the root cause of major disturbances, major problems in India. You must accept it.
What?
And do you know what he has done? This, as I said, 12 Jyotirlingas across Bharat, unifying India. 50 Shaktipeeths, unifying India. And this, the ability of Hindu society to revive itself, reform itself, is represented by Adi Shankara. And Swami Vivekananda himself said, you cannot separate religion from Bharat, because that is in spirit. That is why even Muslims and Christians, when they convert, still somehow they cannot get rid of their religiosity of their old Hindu roots, which is they are attacking now. So please, Don't get a cheap debate. You can talk about petrol prices. You could talk about everything.
No, Ratan Sharda, why are you trying to twist your words? Nobody is opposing or criticizing Adi Shankaracharya. Talk about Narendra Modi's propaganda machinery. That is the debate now.
So when Mr. Rahul Gandhi wears a Janeu on his bangala, that is not propaganda. That is not propaganda. When he becomes a shepard during elections, that is not propaganda.
बुद्ध धर्म में क्या रिलेशन है?
नहीं डॉक्टर आनंद रंगनाथन, अगर अपने बंगले के ऊपर जनेऊ डालने तो वो प्रोपेगेंडा नहीं है, लेकिन केदारनाथ जाना प्रोपेगेंडा है. डॉक्टर आनंद रंगनाथन, व्हाट इज द वीडियो दैट यू आर शोइंग?
Yes, no, this is the Mr. Kamran, the Congress spokesperson, was saying that why is Mr. Modi, being a head of a secular nation, secular country, why is he visiting temples? This is Rahul Gandhi visiting Somnath. Mr. Kamran, what do you have to say to that? And it is not just Mr. Rahul Gandhi who has visited. Ms. Indira Gandhi used to regularly visit Somnath. She has visited all temples. Rajiv Gandhi has visited temples, accompanied by a plethora of...
The point, Mr. Anand Ranganathan ji, Anand ji, let me just counter it. Let me just make my point out here. Let me just make my point out here. No, Navika, if this happens like this, you make some baseless allegation, you don't allow me to revert, then what's the point?
You will allow interrupting, you will not allow others to speak, but you will cry when we are shown the mirror.
Rebut the questions that have been raised by Mr. Ranganathan.
Navika, the question, Mr. Kamran, just let me rephrase the question for you, for your ease. Was it wrong for Mrs. Indira Gandhi as a Prime Minister to visit the Somnath and other Hindu temples? Was it wrong or right? Yes or no?
Boliye.
Mr. Anand, the point here is who visits what or not. That is not the question. The question out here is the propaganda machinery that PM Modi uses to ultimately bring out his autocratic self. That is the point out here. The point is nothing.
जनेऊ पहन लो तो प्रोपेगेंडा नहीं है, इंदिरा गांधी चली जाए तो प्रोपेगेंडा नहीं है, मोदी जी जाए तो प्रोपेगेंडा है. If Modi ji is so popular, that the country sits and watches
him. What are the problems with the... No, Navika, I want to ask your panelists one simple question. Now the Uttarakhand priests, the sadhus out there, they have demanded an audience with the PM Modi with regards to the Devastam board imbroglio. Has the PM Modi able to get into a solution for this? No. Why should the government control the Hindu temples? The question I am asking you was general. Why should you bring in the other religions in your propaganda machinery?
Can I respond now?
Yes, Gaurav Bhatia.
You know, Anand ji, my friend, would not mind I am borrowing his phrase. Kare to kare kya, jaye to jaye kahan? And you know why? I'll tell you. पहले बात करी China को पीछे हटा दिए गलवान वैली में हमारे वीर जवानों ने. फिर आए कोविड खराब हो रहा है. 108 crore vaccines doses given to Indians. टॉपिक बदला. They don't change the goalpost, they run with the goalpost. अब आया petrol prices.
कुछ तो शर्म करो गौरव जी. कल only 5 lakhs vaccines were posted.
It breaks my rhythm.
You have got 1 crore one day with the propaganda.
When you interrupt, you don't follow any rules, but you want other people to follow rules of debate. That's unfair, Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary. Allow Gaurav Bhatia to complete his point.
No, Navika, when you have got a 4:1 panel, if you can't let me counter this point,
where is a 4:1 panel? There is the entire मेरा मैथमेटिक्स आई थॉट खराब है, आपका मेरे से भी खराब है.
35 हो गया. Can I complete my point now?
Yes, Gaurav.
We're having a serious debate.
Yes.
उसके बाद you also mentioned, Navika, today the nation is asking that if Narendra Modi ji can ensure that he delivers ration to 80 crore Indians, he ensures 108 crore Indians receive their vaccine doses at least, and he ensures that, we are able to have Khushiyon Wali Deepawali. Why can't the opposition also follow the footsteps of the central government and the BJP ruled states and reduce VAT just the way Uttar Pradesh has done, just the way Karnataka has done, Assam has done. And today, Rahul Gandhi would not come out to answer जेब कतरा कौन है? ये क्वेश्चन मैं आपके चैनल पे पूछता हूँ. जेब कतरा राजस्थान में अशोक गहलोत है. Shri Ganganagar has the highest rate of petrol and diesel in the entire country. And Sonia Gandhi is nowhere to be seen. Second, he talks about propaganda. नाविका प्रोपेगेंडा तब होता है जब प्रियंका वाड्रा गांधी जी झाड़ू उठाती हैं और एक वीडियो बना के भेजा जाता है. अच्छा होता वो झाड़ू अपने मन की मैल निकालने के लिए किया होता. एंड एक बात और कहूंगा, नरेंद्र मोदी जी हैज द एनर्जी टू कीप ऑन टूरिंग, इंटरैक्ट विद द पीपल एंड डू देयर गुड. बट व्हाट अबाउट सोनिया गांधी?
Let me get in, Dr. Rahmani. Dr. Rahmani, one minute, Mr. Chaudhary, 1 minute, Mr. Chaudhary. Dr. Rahmani hasn't spoken. Allow me to ask him this question. And Dr. Rahmani, you're a scholar, and I want to ask you this question. India has a very deep and very ancient cultural history. We haven't exploited it enough is often what people say. Because if we exploit, if we actually develop our cultural history, our places of religious tourism, our places of cultural importance, you know, we can create jobs, we can create a full tourism economy. And if the Prime Minister is working towards that, I can show you comparisons between what Somnath Mandir was, what it is. I can show you between Kashi Vishwanath, what it was, what it is. Ayodhya, what it was, what it is. Kedarnath, what it was, what it is. I want to ask you, what's wrong if the Prime Minister is developing some of these areas? Kushinagar, you know, it is the Buddhist circuit, and it is being developed. What's wrong with all of that? Why does everything have to be seen from the prism of just religion and politics and votes and marketing and propaganda? I ask you this question because I think every political party does whatever they want to in terms of propaganda. Why only target the Prime Minister?
You see, Navika, the question is much larger than what you have posed to be. Unfortunately, Indian politics is always influenced by the religion, and we could not stop it. Religious symbolism has always been used to score the brownie points in the electoral era. That's what we are looking for last 75 years since our independence. And that's why the identity politics has taken the front seat than the secular politics. That is the unfortunate scenario of our Indian politics. And that's the reason since 2002 onwards, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has become the icon of Hindu identity politics. Wherever he goes, he is a Hindu identity politics, and whatever the religious tourism places you have just mentioned, their development is to show the religion. It's not about the spirituality, which you have earlier in your initial stage of the debate you said. It is not about the spirituality. It's about either to the development as you claim, or it is to garner the local Hindu votes. That's why when he goes Ahmedabad, Jaliwali Masjid or the Zahir Masjid in Kuwait, it's about the tourism, nothing about spirituality. Everybody knows that it was for the tourism trip for the Japanese Prime Minister, or it was a tourism of Hindu identity politics. So whenever he goes, whether before the election or after the election, the purpose is actually extracting the Hindu community at the name of Hindutva. That's why always he is going and he is taking the poster. I wonder how many wardrobes he is having to store all these kind of dresses, which in a day he changes 3 kind of tires.
After the poll जाए तो भी दिक्कत, before the poll जाए तो भी दिक्कत. Again we come back to you, Dr. Anand Ranganathan. जाएं तो कहां जाएं, करें तो क्या करें तो कब करें? पोल के बाद भी दिक्कत है, पोल से पहले भी दिक्कत है, तो क्या करें? धर्म छोड़ दें?
No, Navika, you have to give me 1 minute because I'm going to talk only facts and demolish this kind of trope which my good friend Dr. Rahmani is peddling repeatedly. 4 times he said that Modi is now indulging in identity politics of Hindutva. मतलब बाकी सब communities वहां जा रहे हैं, उसका कुछ नहीं है. लेकिन हर जगह मिस्टर रहमानी ये प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि मोदी सिर्फ हिंदू वोट के लिए. यू वांट टू नो द फैक्ट? Truth is, Modi as Prime Minister has done more for Muslims than he has for Hindus. Let me give you the facts. Has he taken control of mosques like he has of Hindu temples? No. Has he allowed Muslim women to continue to suffer the barbaric triple talaq? No. Has he disbanded the scholarship to Muslim students? No. In fact, he has given scholarships to more Muslims than Manmohan Singh did.
Publish the data. Publish the data.
Versus
Publish the
2.33
triple
crore.
talaq data.
Hey,
Don't talk rubbish on television.
Navika, you know, I
Publish the
can't
data.
this is
wrong.
Triple
This is
talaq
wrong.
data.
Navika, this is
Publish
wrong.
triple talaq data.
One minute.
Don't talk rubbish out here.
Complete your point, Dr. Anand
Mosques
Ranganathan.
are under the Waqf board.
These are
That
the
is run
topics
by
of
the
the debate
government
which
of
you
India.
are posing.
Well, I'll give you data.
Anand
I'll give you
Ranganathan,
data.
you are
I have some data to Ujjwala.
80 crore people have got Ujjwala gas. Has their religion been asked? 108 crore people have been given vaccinations. Has their religion been asked? At least 12 crore people have got toilets. Has their religion been asked?
No developmental schemes
Out of the 350 schemes for minorities, so much 80,000 crore rupees has been spent on it. Has
There were
the religion
thousands
been
of
asked?
such schemes before the Modi regime. And no religious discrimination was done. There were
Hindutva
thousands
and
of such schemes launched by
humbug has gone on for too long. 1 minute, Dr. Rahmani. Anand Ranganathan was making a point. Anand Ranganathan, complete.
You cannot beat. You have to face the courts if you do it.
Yes, thank you. Navika, last time I asked a simple yes or no question. Mr. Chaudhary ran away like a wet cat. Now he has started to interrupt me. So I know I'll be interrupted again, but let me just take this opportunity to ask another yes and no question to my good friend Mr. Ghanshyam. घनश्याम जी और ये जो डॉक्टर चौधरी हैं, ये ज्योमेट्री में बहुत अच्छे होंगे क्योंकि हर चीज में टेंजेंट चले जाते हैं. घनश्याम जी ने पूछा, डिस्कशन कुछ और हो रही है, इन्होंने कहा ये बताइए चीफ इकोनॉमिक एडवाइजर कौन है? वो मिस्टर सुब्रमण्यन. और घनश्याम जी मैं आपको ये भी बता दूं कि 7 दिसंबर तक उनके टेन्योर है, उसके बाद ही नहीं आएगा, तो अभी 1 महीना है. लेकिन मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहता हूं, आप ये बताइए कि अखिलेश यादव जी की सरकार में हु वाज द शुगर इंडस्ट्री एंड शुगर केन डेवलपमेंट मिनिस्टर?
देखिए, ये कहना कि मैंने पूछा कि इकोनॉमिक एडवाइजर कौन से
ऑनलाइन टेस्ट में जैसे बुक खोलकर जवाब देते हैं वैसे ही दे दीजिए. गूगल कर लीजिए. 2 मिनट का टाइम देती हूँ. गूगल कर लीजिए. गूगल माता कुछ ना कुछ तो बता ही देगी. गूगल माता कुछ ना कुछ बता ही देगी आपको. आपको केदारनाथ धाम पे विश्वास नहीं है, गूगल माता पे होगा. गूगल माता पे चले जाइए, वही बता देगी कि शुगर और शुगर केन मंत्री कौन थे.
तो आप मुझे जवाब दे दीजिए. दिवाली है, पटाखे फुलझड़ी मत भरिए, मुझे जवाब देने दीजिए. पूरे डिबेट में अभी तक गौरव भाटिया
नहीं, पूरे डिबेट में आपके हर सवाल का जवाब हो गया, इंक्लूडिंग चीफ इकोनॉमिक एडवाइजर कौन है. आपने शुगर मिनिस्टर का जवाब नहीं दिया. गौरव भाटिया, कंक्लूडिंग रिमार्क्स टू यू. गौरव भाटिया.
You know, Navika, time has changed now and their appeasement politics has ended. Every citizen of the country takes a lot of pride in being an Indian first, but at the same time, earlier, the Hindus especially were ill-treated, were treated like second-rate citizens. Today, we don't need to be apologetic about it. And somebody said that Modi ji is a Hindu icon. I would correct him. Yes, he is a Hindu icon, but he is also...
So you admit that Modi ji is an icon of Hindu politics?
Navika ji, Taliban समर्थक अब हमें सिखा रहे हैं.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm running out of time. I don't know whether you call Prime Minister Modi as just a Hindu icon, or would you actually agree with a lot of people who call Prime Minister Modi as a national icon? For me, Hindu icon versus a national icon, I think he is. And he's proved that in 2 elections that he is an Indian icon. Whether some people can believe and rest in peace with that, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, whatever he does, some people have severe allergic reactions to it. If he goes to Kedarnath post-elections, there is a problem. If he goes to Kedarnath pre-elections, there is a problem. The question here is, we as Indians should be very, very proud of our heritage, both cultural as well as the kind of national monuments that we have. and we should revere them, we should preserve them, and we must market them. Nothing wrong with marketing these icons of our cultural history and heritage. The question is that when Kedarnath or Ayodhya or Kashi Vishwanath or Somnath are marketed, there is a problem. What about those churches in old Goa, which I have grown up looking at, which were always marketed as symbols of cultural heritage? Aren't we proud of those as well? Why do we create a difference? Aren't we proud of our Golden Temple as well? How many devotees go to the Golden Temple, Harmandir Sahib, every day, every week, every year? The question is, who makes these boundaries? Who makes these walls? Politicians, politics, or people of India? And can the people of India see through this? Certainly they can. Nobody needs to be apologetic about their own cultural heritage and history. And that's the new India. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 1. On the other side, we'll bring you a wrap on how the Prime Minister spent his time at Kedarnath this morning, the historical significance, and what he had to say in this landmark visit of his just a day after Diwali. Short break, back soon.